Okay, a warm welcome, guys. Today we are going to see about the respiratory system. Okay, general basics and about the congenital anomalies we'll see today. Okay, so coming to the embryology of the lungs. Generally, the respiratory system is developed from the ventral wall of foregut. Okay, as you see in this picture, you can see the lung bud. Okay, which further develops into esophagus, trachea, and these lung bud only will give rise to bronchial buds. And this is the mesenchyme. Okay, here the bifurcation occurs. This is a tracheal bifurcation, and the next step you can see the division of right primary bronchus and left primary bronchus. Okay, so right lung and left lung. Okay, generally right lung will have three lobes and left lung has two lobes. Right lung has a upper lobe, middle lobe, and lower lobe, whereas left lung has left upper as well as left lower lobes. So this is the embryology of the lungs. Okay. Now coming to the anatomy of the lungs, generally see here you can see the nasal cavity, oral cavity, pharynx, larynx, epiglottis, trachea. Trachea bifurcation occurs, and this is the right lung. This is the left lung. Here you can see the three lobes. See here the fissures, two fissures, which separates the lung into three lobes. That is the upper lobe, middle lobe, and lower lobe. Here you can see the upper lobe and the lower lobe. This is the mediastinum where the heart is located, and these are the pulmonary blood vessels. Okay. Now coming to the physiology of the lungs, lungs function அப்படின்னாலே நம்மளுக்கு தோன்றது எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் கேஸ் தான். அடுத்தபடியாக ஃபங்க்ஷன் பார்த்தா கார்டினல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் இட் ஹேஸ். ஓகே, அண்ட் the function itself we can separate into two things, that is the upper airway and the lower airway. Upper airway, it includes the organs of nasal cavity, pharynx and larynx. In lower airway you can take trachea, um, the bronchi. Okay, these are all comes under the lower airway. So upper airway has a function, that is the conducting zone. It conducts the air to enter into the lower airway. So lower airway is the respiratory zone. Clear? So this is about the anatomy and physiology of the lungs. And here you should know one difference between a bronchi and a bronchiole. See, bronchi has a subepithelium which secretes mucus. So you call it as submucosal glands. Okay. So bronchi has the presence of submucosal glands, whereas your bronchiole lacks the presence of submucosal glands. So bronchiole lacks another one feature, that is it lacks cartilage as well as submucosal glands. So this is a general difference between a bronchi and a bronchiole. Okay. So any foreign body entering inside your body, or let me say any foreign body entering into your lungs, preferably, it enters into your right lung. Why? This is because the right lung is in line with trachea. So most probably any foreign body entering inside the trachea will move into your right lung since it is in line. Okay. So this is the thing. So any foreign body, first primary duty of them is to enter into the right lung. Okay. Now coming to acinus. So what is acinus? Acinus is nothing but a part of the lung distal to the terminal bronchiole. Okay. So this acinus composition is nothing but a respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct, and an alveolar sac. So acinus is composed of respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct, and alveolar sac. These three comprise of acinus. Okay, if you take the acini, the whole acini wall is lined by alveoli. Alveoli is the site of gas exchange. Okay, here you should note the point. Pulmonary lobule. What is a pulmonary lobule? In the sense, it is a cluster of 3 to 5 terminal bronchioles along with its accessory acinus. Okay. ஸோ அதாவது 3 to 5 டெர்மினல் bronchiole அதோட சேர்த்து அதுக்கான தனியான அசினஸோட சேர்த்து ஒரு கிளஸ்டரா இருக்கிறது தான் பல்மனரி லாபியூல் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகே, this is about the acinus. Okay, acinus and the pulmonary lobule we have discussed. Okay, um, in the bronchial mucosa, if you take in the bronchial mucosa, you can find neuroendocrine cells. Endocrine nale secretion தான். So in the bronchial mucosa la இருக்கக்கூடிய neuroendocrine cells, they secrete some factors. What are the factors ன்னு பார்த்தா serotonin, calcitonin and bombacin. What is this bombacin? Bombacin is a gastrin releasing peptide. Okay, and coming to the epithelium, whole of the respiratory tree is lined by pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium except vocal cord. Except vocal cord தவிர்த்து மிச்சது எல்லாமே of your respiratory tree is lined by pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, whereas your vocal cord is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. This is a difference. Okay, this is about the anatomy as well as the acinus. Now coming to the microscopic structure of the alveolar wall. Here you can see four microscopic structures. That is, first one is anastomosing capillary. This anastomosing capillaries is lined by endothelial cells. And the second one is this yellow color. That is the basement membrane with its surrounding interstitial tissue. Okay, this is the one which separates your endothelial cells from epithelial cells. Okay, this is a basement membrane which separates your endothelial cell from the epithelial cell. And the next structure you can see is that the alveolar epithelium. This alveolar epithelium consists of two types of cells. One is flattened type 1 pneumocyte and rounded type 2 pneumocyte. Okay, this flattened type 1 pneumocyte almost it covers 95% of the alveolar surface, whereas your type 2 pneumocyte, okay, it synthesizes surfactant and it has the capacity to repair the alveolar epithelium by converting themselves into type 1 pneumocyte. Okay, and the last structure, microscopic structure, is that alveolar macrophages. Alveolar macrophages, they are either loosely attached to the alveolar epithelium or they may lie free within the alveolar spaces. So this is about the microscopic structure. Four microscopic structures you can see, that is the anastomosing capillaries, basement membrane and surrounding interstitial tissue. The third one is alveolar epithelium and the fourth one is alveolar macrophages. Okay. Now coming to the congenital anomalies of the lungs. Generally, congenital anomalies of the lungs are very rare, but these three are little common. That is pulmonary hypoplasia, foregut cyst and pulmonary sequestration. Now coming to the pulmonary hypoplasia, in the picture பார்த்தாலே தெரியும், the lungs have been shrunken. So you can say the lungs with diminished weight, volume and acinar number. அதாவது small lungs, that only you are saying as pulmonary hypoplasia. Okay, how does this small lungs have been caused? So what is the cause for this small lung அப்படின்னு பார்த்தாக்க, either இந்த lungs compress பண்ணிருக்கணும், இல்ல இந்த lung-ஓட expansion inhibit பண்ணிருக்கணும். ஸோ இது ரெண்டுத்துல நடந்தாதான் லங்ஸோட வால்யூமும் அது பார்க்குற ஸ்ட்ரக்சரும் ஸ்மாலா இருக்கும். ஸோ which all the cases does the lungs gets compressed or expansion gets inhibited அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா congenital diaphragmatic hernia or oligohydramnios. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி கேசஸ்லாம் pulmonary hypoplasia நடக்கலாம். Okay, so this is the pulmonary hypoplasia. Now coming to the foregut cyst. Foregut cyst is nothing but they are the abnormal detachment of the primitive foregut. அதாவது primitive foregut-ல வந்து abnormal detachment ஆனிச்சு அப்படின்னாக்க foregut cyst வளர்றதுக்கான வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்கு. அதுலயும் foregut cyst-லயும் ஸ்பெஷலா பார்த்தா bronchogenic cyst, because bronchogenic cyst lined by ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium is the most common among the foregut cyst. As you see here, okay, generally these cyst takes place in the cyst formation takes place in the hilum or in the mediastinum. See here, these are the bronchogenic cyst. Okay, so this is again a bronchogenic cyst. Okay, cyst formation. This is a congenital anomaly. Now coming to the third congenital anomaly, that is pulmonary sequestration. So pulmonary sequestration அப்படின்னாக்க it is a lung tissue which lacks connection to the airway system as well as it derives its vascular supply from the aorta or its branches. அதாவது airway system ஓட கனெக்ஷனையும் லூஸ் பண்ணிடும், vascular சப்ளையும் from the aorta or its branches தான் வரும். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷன் தான் பல்மனரி செக்வெஸ்ட்ரேஷன். ஸோ இந்த பல்மனரி செக்வெஸ்ட்ரேஷன்லேயே டூ டைப்ஸ் இருக்கு, எக்ஸ்ட்ரா லோபார் செக்வெஸ்ட்ரேஷன் அண்ட் இன்ட்ரா லோபார் செக்வெஸ்ட்ரேஷன். Now coming to extra lobar sequestration, extra lobar sequestration as you see in this picture, it is external to the lungs. Okay, external to the lungs, which may occur anywhere in the thorax or in the mediastinum. It occurs especially in infants as mass lesions. Whereas your intralobar sequestration, as you see in this picture, it occurs within the lung parenchyma and it occurs especially in older children as recurrent localized infection. Okay, so here extralobar sequestration receives its blood supply from aorta and gives to systemic veins. Here in intralobar sequestration from aorta to the pulmonary veins. Okay, so pulmonary sequestration பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஒரு lung tissue airway connection loss பண்ணிருச்சு, vascular supply வந்து from the aorta or its branches ல இருந்து கிடைக்குது. That is about the pulmonary sequestration, and this is just a difference, okay, between intralobar and extralobar sequestration. See here, no communication to the airway system. Clear? That's all friends. Thank you, and in my next video we'll continue with our respiratory system. Okay, bye and take care.